Alrighty. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. I am here. I am here. Is everybody here? I am so sorry. Look, it just my for some reason my camera just went out. So I'm trying to. All right, let me set it. So okay, I think this is good. This is good. The camera just completely went out. I don't know what happened. It went out. Look, I need a drink. It's nice and cold. Okay. So it just went out. I apologize. I apologize for taking so technical difficulties. It happens all the time. So, but anyway, we here. So you can check me out on Facebook Live. I'm on Facebook Live. I'm on Instagram, and I am on YouTube. And we're starting out our first live in a long time with extraordinary goodies. And we're going to be, well, I am going to be reading the book Pimp by Iceberg Slim. This is a very good book. I don't know if you guys heard the story of it. If you have, then it might be interesting to you. If you have not heard about it, it is basically about a pimp and his life of being a pimp. Okay, so it is a great book. I got my readers here. I am ready. I'm just gonna be over here at the moment. All right, that's fine. You can stay over here. If you guys want to be on the Instagram, you can stay over here at the Instagram. Hey, Raylan. If you want to be over on my Facebook, some of my friends, everybody left. They probably said, "What the heck is she doing?" I was over here trying to get stuff started and going. So if you want to be over here at Instagram, you can be over here. If you want to be over here on my YouTube, you could be over here on my YouTube. So it is up to you guys. I hope you guys can hear me well. Um, if you want to send messages, you can. My moderators, everybody is here. My moderators, my cash app is dollar sign, okay, dollar sign Posh, Posh, Life, Life, Queen, Queeen. So if you would like to donate, send blessings to my cash app, it would help. It definitely will help us get some more books. I bought this book off of Instagram. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you, love. Um, I got this book off Instagram. You can get some great books off of Instagram. After this one, I got another book that we're gonna do. Our second book. Let me show you what the second book is gonna be. I went to this event with, if you know anything about Rev Ron DMC and his wife, him and his beautiful wife wrote this beautiful book. So if you're married, single, shacking up with somebody, got a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever it is, this is a great book. It is called Old School Love and Why It Works. We don't do old school love anymore. So this will be, and it's by Joseph and Justine Simmons. So this will be our next book. This will be our second book that we will get. I happened to get, when I bought my ticket, this was included in the price of our ticket. I remember when you went there and got autographed. Yep, I got it autographed. It's autographed right now. Thank you, baby Skillet. Thank you so much. So this will be our second book. And then I'll let you guys know what the third and fourth book is going to be. I buy my books off of Instagram. I'm in Instagram. I buy my books off Instagram. I buy it off of Amazon. I'm sorry. Get the books off of Amazon. So if you guys would like to help support that, whatever blessings that you send to my cash apps is greatly appreciated. Most appreciated. Okay. And if you're already on, well, if you're on my YouTube, this YouTube channel is not monetized. So the only way you could do is to cash out me or PayPal. You can also PayPal me as well, Miss Gina, Queen of Talk. You could come on over to my Patreon. I'll be over there as well. I'm just gonna be just hopping all around a lot of different places. tonight's book is Pimp by Iceberg Slim, the story of his life. Story of his life. Okay. Put my readers on here. I know some of you guys is going to be sending me messages and stuff like that. I will read the links or the post afterwards, or when we take a break, I'll read them afterwards, and we're gonna talk about the book. We're gonna talk about the story. Okay, so sit back and relax. Let Miss Gina sit up and do all the work. You guys just sit back and relax. A pimp is happy when his whores giggle. He knows they are still asleep. All whores have one thing in common, just like the chumps, humpy for the white boss. Now, let me tell you something. He has a lot of the lingo that he uses, you probably won't understand, but in the back of the book, which is the greatest thing that he did, was, and I'm going to show you guys this in a minute. The thing that he did in the back of the book is he made a glossary. So the glossary, in the back of the book that he has, it gives you the meaning of what of the lingo that he uses, because a lot of us use slang. So some of the things that I'll just give you an example. So he says, let's say, roller. Roller is a policeman, usually plain clothes. Shake. Shake is extort. Sheet. Sheet is a police record. Short. Short is a car. Cut loose, to refuse to help. Crosses, to trick or trap. Flat backer, a whore who gets paid for straight sexual intercourse. So that is a flat backer. So some of the words you hear me read, you probably say, what the hell is that? I will read toward the end all of what he meant. Actually, let's go through that first. So when I do read the book, you'll understand what he meant by some of the words that he said. So we're going to start with A, and we're going to go all the way. We're going to go all the way down. Okay. So Apple, New York City. Bang, injections of narcotics. Beef, and they're all in alphabetical order too. So you guys just pay attention. Okay, as well. Beef, criminal complaint. Now, for us in this sector online, a beef means to argue with somebody, right? A beef means when you is against that person and y'all just going at it, you got beef with that person. But on here, the beef means, for him, it's criminal complaint. Bail, notary connected to one's name. Bill, $100. Bit, prison term. Bite, price. Black gunyon, powerful, thick, dark, gummy marijuana. Bukus, that means plenty. Booster, shoplifter. Some of you guys that live in the hood, from the hood, know the slang. Some of you guys know what that means, but not everybody knows what it means. So that's why I'm reading you his glossary of words and definitions so that you guys will understand what it is. Those of you that just came in, we are reading Pimp by Iceberg Slim. We're reading Pimp by Iceberg Slim, and I am going over the glossary words, okay? Okay, where are we at? Boot, Negro. Boss, very good, excellent. Bottom woman. A bottom woman is a pimp's main woman, his foundation. Boy, heroine. Breaking luck, a whore's first trick of working day. Bright, morning. Bull scare, blustering bluff. Busted, arrested and or convicted. C, cocaine. Cannon, pickpocket. Now, most of you all would think a cannon is a gun, but for him, it is a pickpocket. Can, derriere. Okay. Cap, a small glycerin container full of drugs. Cat, CAT, female sexual organ. Okay. Chili pimp. A chili pimp is a small time one whore pimp. So that's a small time pimp trick that got him just one woman out there tricking for him. That's what that is. I'm going back to YouTube. All right, baby. Chipped. Light periodic use of heavy drugs. Chump change. Just enough money for basic needs. We all know what chump change is, right? Circus love. To run the gamut of the sexual perversions. Coast. Somnolent, nodding state of heroin addict. Cocktail. To put a marijuana butt into the end of a conventional cigarette for smoking. That's a cocktail. Okay. We're still on the C's. Calm down. Return to normal state after drug use. Cop and blow. Pimp theory to get as many whores as leave him. So that's cop and blow. That is a pimp's theory to get as many hoes as he can. Copped. Get or capture. Crackwise, usually applied to an underworld neophyte who spouts his terminology to gain status. Croak, kill. That means you're dead, you're gone, you croaked. Okay? Cut loose, to refuse to help or disdain. Damper, a place holding savings, a bank, a safe deposit box, etc. to stop or quell. Derby, head refers to oral copulation. That's a derby. Dirty, in possession of incriminating evidence. That means your ass is dirty. Okay? Dog, older hardened whore or young sexual libertine. Dossing, sleeping. Down, a pimp's pressure on a whore or his inheritance to the rules of the pimp game. When a whore starts to work, that is down. Fix, to bribe so an illegal operation can go with impunity as an injection or of narcotics. Flatbacker, a whore who gets paid for straight sexual intercourse. That's a flatbacker, okay? Freak, sexual libertine. French, oral copulation. G, $1,000. So you got a G. Do anybody want to donate a G to Miss G? That's $1,000, okay? Gangster, marijuana. It ain't the type of gangster y'all talking about. Gangster is marijuana, okay? Girl, cocaine. Gorilla, to use physical force. Gorilla pimp, no brains, all muscle. You heard that? A gorilla pimp. He a dummy, but he got muscle. He can kick butt, okay? Grand, $1,000. H, heroin, hard leg, an older street hardened, used up whore. Now, I remember back in the day, a hard leg was a guy, but for him, it's an older street hardened, used up whore. Heat, police, or adverse street conditions for hustlers. Head, hide, wallet. Hall, Cadillac. Hooks, hands, horns, ears, hype, addict, Jasper, lesbian. Jeffing, low-level con. Jib, a mouth. Kister, derriere. Kite, note. Kitty, Cadillac, larceny, to run against by local condemnation, lines, money, lip, lawyer, macking, pimp. Mark, victim, sucker. Mythman, a hustler who uses religion and prophecy to con his victims. Usually the victims are women. Mop, hair. Mukty mucks, a temporary term applied to the rich and privileged by the poor and underprivileged. Mukty mucks. Murphy, con game played on suckers looking for whores. Nut roll, a pretense at stupidity or unawareness. Okie doke, a con game. Now y'all know. Now that's still the same meaning. Okie doke been the same. You know how we used to say she falling for the okie doke. He didn't fail for the okie doke. Now that's a universal term right there. That's old school. Oil, pay off money to the police. Outfit, hypodermic kit used for addicts. Um, let's see here. Who else we got? Piece of stuff. One ounce of narcotics, penny, look, poke, wallet, or bankroll, reefer. It's marijuana. So you know reefer, all that stuff is weed, all that is marijuana. Roller. Policeman, usually plain clothes. Rouse, stopped and harassed by the police. That's when he roused you. Shake, extort, sheep, police record, shield, badge, shiv, knife, usually made by convicts from various objects. Short, a car, sizzle, narcotics carried on the person. Slate, one usually refers to money or length of prison term. Slum hustler, a phony jewelry salesman. Smack, heroin. Okay, that's usually the same thing. Smack. Don't worry, we're gonna have a conversation and we're gonna talk about all of this after I get through reading the book. I'm not reading the whole book tonight. So don't think I'm gonna be over here all night reading the book. We just gonna read a couple of chapters, a few chapters. Snatch, female sexual organ. Snort, sniff or inhale. Spade, Negro. I just want to read some of the glossary terms. We at the end. We at the last glossary. So you guys kind of know some of the definitions of some of the words that when I read it in the story, you basically get an idea of what that is. Speedballs, a combination of heroin and cocaine injected. Spick, Mexican. Spilling, talking, a term used by older hustlers and pimps. Square up, get out of the life. So when you're squaring up, that means you're done with the life. You ain't doing it. You ain't pimping no more, and you ain't hoeing no more. Stable, a group of whores belonging to one pimp. Now, a stable, for us, regular folks, we would think a stable is where you put horses. But a stable for a pimp is when he has a group of whores. So if he has more than three, basically, more than three or more, he has a stable, of whores. Stall, an accomplice of a cannon. Stand up, to endure or survive. Stand up. Stash, hiding place. Thing, a rob. Strides, trousers. Stuff on, to play on or con. Threads, clothing. Okay. Three-way, orally, rectally, vaginally. Did you hear that again? That's a three-way. Now, for you regular folks, y'all would think a three-way is two girls and a guy, or two guys and a girl, right? That's what y'all normally you think that's what a three-way is. But a three-way here is orally, rectally, and vaginally. I you can't see way over there, so I'm gonna have to go on here so my for my YouTubers, I can basically see what you guys are or read what you guys are saying. All right, let me turn that down. I knew what you meant, Tracy. No worries. I misspelled too with the auto. I know we always do that. Hey, Prima Wanda, my moderator sisters. Okay, everybody. Okay, so now I got you guys that's on my YouTube and stuff. Now I can see what you ladies are saying as well. Okay, I got you guys right here. Let me see if I can set that up without it falling. Okay, so where were we at? Okay, so we were at stable, a group of whores belonging to one pimp. Stall, an accomplice of a cannon. Stand up, to endure or survive. Stash, hiding place. Sting, rob, strides, trousers. Stuff on, to play on or con. Threads, we said clothes. Three-way, that's where we were at. Three-way, we were at orally, rectally, or vaginally. That's a three-way, okay? To pull coat, to inform and teach. That's the pull coat. Turned out, introduced to the fast life or drugs. Now we all know that still means the same. Turned out. We all know that meaning when we say, man, shit, he turned her out. When you hear that phrase, he turned her out, that means he either put on drugs, he got her out there hooking, or he dicked her down real good and she lost her mind. She don't listen to her family, don't listen to the friends, don't listen to nobody. So that's what we mean when they say turned out. So that's introduced to the fast life or to drugs. Uptight, in trouble financially or otherwise. Vic, mark or victim. Okay. Vine, suit. Whale, throw, usually applied to throwing dice. Now, usually us modern folks, when I hear whale, is usually someone very rich. Like when you go to the casinos and stuff like that, they always say we got a whale. The whale coming in. That's somebody that is got buku money. But here, a whale is throw, usually applied to throwing dice. So when you're throwing dice, that's a whale. Wire, information message. That we all know that's the same. You know when they wear a wire. Yeasting, to build up or exaggerate. Yellow, a yellow capsule containing barbiturates powder. Prat, to pretend, rejection to increase desire. Peel off, remove of only a portion of money from a wallet or roll. So you know peel off when you got that thick stack, y'all seen the guys that's got that thick stack of money, but they don't want you to know how much they got, so they just go and they peel off one, like you're peeling an orange, they just peel off one of the bills. That is a peel off, okay? So those are some of the words, okay? So back to, I'm reading the introduction of it all right? So I'll start over again. A pimp is happy when his whores giggle. He knows they are still asleep. All whores have one thing in common, just like the chumps humping for the white boss. It thrills them when the pimps make mistakes. They watch and wait for his downfall. A pimp is the loneliest bastard on earth. He's got to know his whores. He can't let them know him. You can't let them know him, but he got to know them. Because you know why? Because if you let him know, if he lets his whores know him, if they know him, that's just going to fuck up everything. Because then they can get in his head. Then the control is not going to work because he has to be able to control them. So he needs to know them, but they don't need to know him. Only what he wants them to know. Okay? He got to be God all the way. Have y'all seen the movie, The Mac? You seen the movie, The Mac? That'll tell you. That gives you an idea of what it is. Okay? So, forward. Dawn was breaking as the big hog scooted through the streets. My 5 whores were chattering like drunk magpies. I smelled the stink that only a street whore has after a long, busy night. The inside of my nose was raw. It happens when you're a pig for snorting cocaine. My nose was on fire, and the stink of the whores and the gangster they were smoking seemed like invisible knives to my brain. I was like in an evil, dangerous mood, despite that power glove compartment. God damn it! Has one of you bitches shit on herself or something? I bellowed as I flipped to the long window toward me. For a long moment, there was silence. Then Rachel, my bottom whore, cracked in a pleasing ass kissing voice. Daddy, baby, that ain't no shit you smell. We've been turning all night and ain't no bathroom in those tricks cars we've been flipping out of. Daddy, we sure been humping for you, and what you smell is our nasty whore asses. Now, some of y'all, let me tell y'all something. I've been reading stories for a very long time, so don't laugh when I do the voices. My kids love when I do the voices. I don't know why. It's just I'm used to that. I think it's just a lot more interesting when you do the voices than when you just read in a book. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I do the voices. So y'all gonna hear me do the voices. What my girl saying? Hey, Cassandra Love. I'm so sis Kiki just staying coughing. Oh, okay. So this is the reason why y'all hear my voice change. So like I was talking like the hooker. I know she don't talk like that. I don't probably know how she talk. But it's just a lot more interesting if you do the voices. So a lot of times y'all gonna see me switch back and forth, and I'm gonna do some of the voices just to make the story a little bit more interesting. Okay, so I hope you guys don't mind And I hope so far you're enjoying it. Okay, so back to the storytelling. I grinned widely inside, of course. The best pimps keep a steel lid on their emotions, and I was one of the iciest. The whores went into fits of giggles at Rachel's shaky witticism. Witticism, that's what he's trying to say, but they got it written in slang. A pimp is happy when his whores giggle. He knows they are still asleep. You get it? Not sleeping. When he hear him giggle, and even when he getting in that ass and he hear him giggle, that means that they sleep. Asleep meaning they ain't woke to the bullshit he feeding them. That's what that is. Okay. I coasted the hog into the curb outside the hotel where Kim, my newest, prettiest girl, was cribbing. Jesus, I would be glad to drop the last whore off so I could get my own hotel to nurse my nose with cocaine and be alone. Any good pimp is his own best company. His inner life is so rich with cunning and scheme to outthink his whores. As Kim got out, I said, "Good night, baby. Today is Saturday, so I want everybody in the street at noon instead of 7 tonight." I said noon, not 5 minutes after or 2 minutes after, but at 12 noon sharp, I want you down. Got it, baby? I hope y'all like my voice. She didn't answer, but she did a strange thing. She walked into the street around the hall to the window on my side. She stood looking at me for a long moment, her beautiful face tensed in the dim dawn. Then, in her crisp New England accent, she said, "Are you coming back to my pad this morning?" I can't do a New England accent, y'all, so that ain't gonna work. "You haven't spent a night with me in a month, so come back, okay?" A good pimp doesn't get paid for screwing. He gets his pay off for always having the right thing to say to a whore. Right on lightning tap. I knew my four whores were flapping their ears to get my reaction to this beautiful bitch. A pimp with an overly fine bitch in his stable has to keep his game tight. Whores constantly probe for weaknesses in a pimp. I fitted a scary mask on my face and said in a low, deadly voice, "Bitch, are you insane? No bitch in this family calls any shots or muscles me to do anything. Now take your stinky yellow ass upstairs to a bath and some shut-eye and get in the street at noon like I told you." The bitch just stood there, her eyes slitted in anger. I could sense she was game to play. The string out right there in the street before my horse. If I had been 10 years dumber, I would have leaned out of that hog and broken her jaw and put my foot in her ass. But the joint was too fresh in my mind. I knew that bitch was trying to booby trap me when she spat out her invitation. "Come on, kick my ass. What the hell do I need with a man I only see when he comes to get his money? I am sick of it all. I don't dig stables and never will. I know I'm the new bitch who has to prove herself. Well, god damn it, I am sick of this shit. I'm cutting out." She stopped for air and lit a cigarette. I was going to blast her ass off when she finished. So I just sat there staring at her. Then she went on. "I have turned more tricks in the 3 months I have been with you than in the whole 2 years with my Paul. My pussy stays sore and swollen. Do I get my ass kicked before I split? If so, kick it now. Because I am going back to Providence on the next thing smoking." She was young, fast, with a trick appeal galore. She was a pimp's dream, and she knew it. She had tested me with her beef, and now she was lying back for a sucker response. I disappointed her with my cold overlay. I could see her wilt as I said in an icy voice, listen, square ass bitch. I never had a whore I couldn't do without. I celebrate, bitch. When a whore leaves me, it gives some worthy bitch a chance to take her place and be a star. You scurvy bitch, if I shit in your face, you gotta love it and open your mouth wide. Would y'all be that kind of whore? And she giving all her money to him. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? The rollers cruised by in a squad car. That's the police. So I flashed a sucker smile on my face and cooled it until they passed. Kim was rooted there, wincing under the blizzard. I went on ruthlessly. Bitch, you are nothing but a funky zero. Before me, you had one chilly chump with no rep. Nobody except his mother ever heard of the bastard. Yes, bitch, I'll be back this morning to put your phony ass on the train. I rocketed away from the curb. In that rearview mirror, I saw Kim walk slowly into the hotel. Her shoulders slumped in the hall until I dropped the last whore off. You could have heard a mosquito crapping on the moon. I had tested out for them. Solid ice. I went back for Kim. She was packed and silent. On the way to the station, I riffled the pages in that pimp's book in my head for an angle to hold her without kissing her ass. I couldn't find a line in it for an out like that. As it turned out, the bitch was testing and bluffing right down the line. We had pulled into the station parking lot when the bitch fell to pieces. Her eyes was misty when she yelled, Daddy, are you really going to let me split? Daddy, I love you. I started the Pratt action to cinch her when I said, bitch, I don't want a whore with rabbit in her. I want a bitch who wants me for life. You have got to go. After that bullshit earlier this morning, you are not that bitch. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? What is the name of that book? Again, this book is called Pimp. It is Pimp by Iceberg Slim, and you can get it on Amazon. I bought mine from Amazon. It's called Pimp by Iceberg Slim. Those of you that have, sorry, the hood table. Pimps, I think. Yep, Kiki, you was right. I believe Pimp. It is Pimps, and it's by Iceberg Slim. So it is on Amazon. Y'all can get it off of Amazon. Even though you won't have Miss Gina to read it. Y'all won't have Miss Gina over here to read it for y'all. And I do the voices and everything. So I hope you guys, y'all are enjoying it. I hope y'all enjoy. And we got a small look. I had a couple of people. We got people in the background as well. I got one person over here on Instagram. I got one person or two over here on Facebook, and we got 9 over here on the tube. So we enjoying ourselves. That Pratt butchered her, and she collapsed into my lap crying and begging to stay. I had a theory about splitting whores. I think they seldom split without a bankroll. So I cracked on her. Give me that scratch you held out, and maybe I will give you another chance. Sure enough, she reached into her bosom and drew out close to 5 bills and handed it to me. No pimp with a brain in his head cuts loose a young, beautiful whore with lots of mileage left in her. I let her come back. When at long last I was driving toward my hotel, I remembered what Sweet Jones, the master pimp who turned me out, had said about whores like him. Slim, he said, a pretty nigger bitch and a white whore are just alike. They both will get in a stable to wreck it and leave the pimp on his ass with no whores. You gotta make 'em hump hard and fast to stick 'em for long scratch quick. Slim pimping ain't no game of love. So proud of him and keep your swipe out of him. You know what that means? Keep his dick out of him to himself. Don't give him none. Don't keep them starving. Make them want it even more. Make them want it. That's what that means. Any sucker who believes a whore loves him shouldn't. Fell out of his mammy's ass. My mind went back to Pepper, then back even further, and I remembered what he had said about the Georgia. Slim, a pimp is really a whore who has reversed the game on whores. So Slim, be as sweet as the scratch, no sweeter, and always stick a whore for a bundle before you sex her. A whore ain't nothing but a trick to a pimp. Don't let them Georgia you. Always get your money in front, just like a whore. On the elevator riding to my pad, I thought about the first bitch who had Georgia me, and how she had flim-flammed me out of my head. She would be old and gray now, but if I could find her, I would sure get the bitch's unpaid account off my conscience. Preface. Now we on the second. We on the chapter 1 is torn from the nest. In this book, I will take you to the reader with me into the secret inner world of the pimp. I will lay bare my life and thoughts as a pimp. The account of my brutality and cunning as a pimp will fill many of you with revelation. However, if one intelligent, valuable young man or woman can be saved from the destructive slime, then the displeasure I have given will have been overweighed by that individual's use of his potential in a socially constructive manner. I regret that it is impossible to recount to you all of my experiences as a pimp. Unfortunately, it would require the combined pages of a half a dozen books. Perhaps my remorse for my ghastly life would diminish to the degree that within this one book I have been allowed to purge myself. Perhaps one day I can win respect as a constructive human being. Most of all, I wish to become a decent example for my children and for that wonderful woman in the grave, my mother. So this is where we are now starting. We start in chapter 1 on here so far. We start. So that I just read to you was actually an intro. Chapter 1 is torn from the nest. That's chapter 1. Let me put it up closely to some of you guys so you could see. Okay, so that's chapter 1. Any of my YouTubers got the same thing? Late 60s baby here, 70s here. Wow, the book was written in 1960. Now y'all looking it up already. Yes. It's saying I'm a 60s baby here. So the book was written, I was born in 69. So the book was written when I was born. So, but this is a very good book. Hey there, Diane Taylor. How you doing, love? We are reading Pimp. I am reading Pimp by Iceberg Slim. So if you guys sit back and relax, I'm gonna read another chapter or two from you. Actually, that wasn't the chapter. That was the intro that I just read. So chapter 1 is torn from the nest. Y'all hear, you probably hear my voice change because I like to do some of the voices in it just to make it a little bit more interesting here. And I'm drinking a little bit too, y'all. I'm drinking a little bit too. So it also is great when you're a little tipsy, make it more fun. Are you guys enjoying yourself? Is everybody enjoying themselves, honey? I got 3 streams going on. Y'all better enjoy. I don't know no other content creator that's gonna sit down and do some story time with you guys. Okay, Miss Gina doing some grown folks story time. Y'all can't tell me that y'all don't like it and you're not enjoying it. All you gotta do is sit back with your drink, have your snack, and just enjoy the book. enjoy the story. Okay, so we're let me put my readers back on because y'all know I cannot see. I can't see without these. The words here is a little, but it's a lot better when I got my readers on because they are a lot bigger. The words are a lot big. I can see them a whole lot better. Okay, so now on to chapter 1. Torn from the nest. Her name was Maud, and she Georgia'd me around 1921. I was only 3 years old. Mama told me about it, and always when she did, her rage and indignation would be as strong and as emotional, perhaps, as at the time when she had surprised her, panting and moaning at the point of orgasm, with my tiny head wedged between her ebony thighs, her massive hands vase-like around my head. Mama worked long hours in a hand laundry, and Maud had been hired as a babysitter at 50 cents a day. Maud was a young widow. Strangely, she had a reputation in Indianapolis, Indiana, as a devout holy roller. I have tried through the years to remember her face, but all I can remember is the funky ritual. I vaguely remember not her words, but her excitement when we were alone. I remember more vividly the most adorous darkness and the frisco-like hairs tickling my face, and most vividly I can remember my panic when, in the wild moment of her climax, she would savagely jerk my head even tighter into her hairy maw. I couldn't get a breath of air until, like a huge black balloon, she would exhale with a whistling whoosh and relax, limply freeing my head. I remembered the ache of the strain on my fragile neck muscles, and especially at the root of my tongue. Ooh, honey, she was giving it to that little boy back then. Mama and I had come to Indianapolis from Chicago, where since the time when she was 6 months pregnant, my father had begun to show his true colors as an irresponsible white spats wearing bum. Back in that small town in Tennessee, their hometown, he had stalked the beautiful virgin and conned her into marriage. Her parents, with vast relief, gave their blessing and wished them the best in the promised land up north in Chicago. Mama had 10 brothers and sisters. Her marriage meant one less mouth to feed. My father's father was a skilled cook, and he passed his know-how to my father, who shortly after getting to Chicago scored a chef's job at a huge middle-class hotel. Mama was put on as a waitress. Mama told me that even with both of them working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, they couldn't save a nickel to buy furniture or anything. My idiot father had come to the big city and gone sucker wild. He couldn't stay away from the high yellow whores with their big asses and bitch dog sexual antics. What they didn't con him out of, he lost in the cheap crap joints. At the hotel one night, he vanished from the kitchen. Mama finally found him thrusting nightly into a half-white waitress lying on a sack of potatoes in the storage room, with her legs locked around his back. Mama said she threw everything she could lift at them. They were unemployed when they walked away from the shambles. My father tearfully vowed to straighten himself out and be a man, but he didn't have the will, the strength to resist the cheap thrills of the city. After my birth, he got worse and had the stupid gall to suggest to Mama that I put on a Catholic church doorstep. He put on a Catholic church doorstep. Mama naturally refused, so he hurled me against the wall in disgust. I survived it and left us, his white spats flashing in his derby hat at a rakish angle. It was the beginning of a bitter winter. Mama packed pressing irons and waving combs into a small bag and wrapped me warmly in blankets and set out into the bleak, friendless city to ring doorbells. the bag in one arm and I in the other. Her pitch was something like this: Madame, I can make your hair curly and beautiful. Please give me a chance for 50 cents. That's all. I will make your hair shine like new money. At this point in the pitch, Mama told me she would slip the blanket aside to bare my wee big-eyed face. The sight of me in her arm on a sub-zero day was like a charm. She managed to make a living for us. That spring, with new friends of Mama's, we left Chicago for Indianapolis. We stayed there until 1924, when a fire gutted the hand laundry where Mama worked. There were no jobs in Indianapolis for Mama, and for 6 months we barely made it on the meager savings. We were penniless and with hardly any food when a tall black angel visiting relatives in Indianapolis came into our lives. He fell instantly in love with my lissom beautiful mother. His name was Henry Upshaw, and I guess I fell as hard for him as he fell for mine. He took us back to Rockford, Illinois with him, where he owned a cleaning and pressing shop, the only Negro business in downtown Rockford. In those tough Depression times, a Negro in his position, with the envy of most Negro men, Henry was religious, ambitious, good, and kind. I often wondered what would have happened to my life if I had not been torn from him. He treated Mama like she was a princess. Anything she wanted, he got for her. She was a fashion plate, all right. Every Sunday, when we all three went to church in the gleaming black Dodge, we were an outstanding sight as we walked down the aisles in our fresh, neat clothing. Only the few Negro lawyers and physicians lived as well as they did, looked looked as well. Mama was president of several civic clubs. For the first time, we were living the good life. Mama had a dream. She told it to Henry. Like the genie of the lamp, he made it a reality. It was a four-stall opulent beauty shop. Its chrome gleamed in the black and gold motif. It was located in the heart of the Negro business section and flourished from the moment its doors opened. Her clientele was for the most part whores, pimps, and hustlers. From the sprawling red light district in Rockford, they were the only ones who always had the money to spend on their appearance. The first time I saw Steve, he was sitting getting his nails manicured in the shop. Mama was smiling into his handsome, olive-tinted face as she buffed his nails. I didn't know when I first saw him that he was the pinstripe snake who would poison the core of our lives. I certainly had no inkling that last day at the shop as live billows of steam hissed from the old pressing machine. Each time Henry slammed its lid down on a garment. Jesus, it was hot in that little shop, but I loved every minute of it. It was school vacation time for me, and every summer I worked in the shop all day, every day, helping my stepfather. That day I saw my reflection on the banker's expensive black shoes. I was perhaps the happiest black boy in Rockford. As I applied the soul dressing, I hummed my favorite tune, Springtime in the Rockies. The banker stepped down from the shine stand, stood for a moment as I flickered lint from his soft, rich suit. Then, with a warm smile, he pressed an extravagant 50-cent piece into my hand and stepped out into the brawling streets. Now I whistled my favorite tune. Shines were only a dime, with a tip. I didn't know at the time that the banker would never press another coin into my hand. That for the next 35 years, this last day will be remembered vividly as the final day of real happiness for me. I will press $5 bills into the palms of shine boys. My shoes would be handmade, would cost 3 times as much as the banker's shoes, but my shoes, though perfectly fitted, would be worn in the tension and fear. There was really nothing out of the ordinary that day. Nothing during that day that I heard or saw that prepared me for the swift, confusing events that over the weekend would slam my life away from all that was good to all that was bad. Now, looking back, remembering that last day in the shop as clearly as if it was yesterday, my stepfather Henry was unusually quiet. My young mind couldn't grasp his worry, his heartbreak. Even I, a 10-year-old, knew that this huge, ugly black man who had rescued Mama and me from actual starvation. Oh, I gotta go back. My live ended on my Okay, there we go. It ended on Instagram. So we back anyway. I loved Henry with all my heart. He was the only father I had ever known. He could have saved himself an early death from a broken heart if instead of falling so madly in love with Mama, he had run as fast as he could away from her. For him, she was brown skin murder in a size 12 dress. That last night at 8 o'clock, Dad and I flicked the shop's lights out as always at closing. In an emotional, muffled voice, he spoke my name, Bobby. I turned toward him and looked up into his face, tense and strained in the pale light from the street lamp. I was confused and shaken when he put his massive hands on my shoulders and drew me to him very tightly, just holding me in this strange, desperate way. My head was pressed against his belt buckle. I could barely hear his low, rapid flow of pitiful words. He said, Bobby, you know I love you and Mama, don't you? His stomach muscles were cording, jerking against my cheek. I knew he was going to burst into tears. I said as I squeezed my arms around his waist, yes, Daddy, yes, yes, Daddy. We love you too, Daddy. We always will. We always will, Daddy. He was trembling as he said, you and Mama would wouldn't ever leave me. You know, Bobby, I ain't got nobody in the world but you two. I just couldn't go on if you left me alone. I clung tightly to him and said, don't worry, Daddy. We'll never leave you. I promise, honest, Daddy. What a sight we must have been. The 6'6" black giant and the frail little boy holding on to each other for dear life, crying there in the darkness. I tell you, when we finally made it to the big black Dodge and we're riding home, my thoughts were turning madly. Yes, poor Henry's fears had foundation. Mama had never loved my stepfather. This kind, wonderful man had only been a tool of convenience. She had fallen in love with the snake, all right. His plans was to cop Mama and make it to the Windy. The dirty bastard knew I would be excess baggage. But the way Mama was gulping his con, he figured he could get rid of me later. Only after I had become a pimp years later would I know Steve's complete plot and how stupid he really was. Here, this fool had a smart square broad with a progressive square John husband, infatuated with him. Her business was getting better all the time. Her sucker husband was blindly in love, and the money from his business was wide open to her. If Steve had been clever, he could have stayed right there on top of things and bled a big bankroll from the business in a couple of years. Then he could have pulled Mama out of there, and with a big bankroll, he could have done anything with her, even turned her out. I tell you, she was that hot for him. She had to be insane over the asshole to walk away from all that potential with only 2,500 in cash. Steve blew it in a Georgia game within a week after we got to Chicago. Mm-mm. I have wished to Christ and for penitentiaries that the lunatic lovers had left me in Rockford with Henry when they split. One scene in my life I could never forget, and that was the morning when Mama had finished packing our clothes and Henry lost his inner fight for his pride and dignity. He fell down on his knees and bawled like a scalded child, pleading with Mama not to leave him, begging her to stay. He had welded his arms around her legs, his voice hoarse in anguish as he whimpered his love for us. His agonized eyes wallowed up as at her as he wailed, "Please don't leave me. You are sure to kill me if you do. I ain't done nothing. If I have, forgive me." I will never forget her face, as cold as an executioner's, which she was, as she kicked and struggled loose from him. Then, with an awful grin on her face, she lied and said, "Henry, honey, I just want to get away for a while, darling. We'll be back." In his state, she was lucky he hadn't killed her in me and buried us in the backyard. As the cab drove us away to the secret rendezvous with Steve sitting in his old Model T, I looked back at Henry on the porch, his chest heavy as tears rolled down his tortured face. There were too many wheels within the wheels, too much hurt for me to cry. After a blank time and distance, we got to Chicago. Steve had vanished, and Mama was telling me in a damp hotel room that my real father was coming over to see us and to remember that Steve was her cousin. Steve was stupid, all right, but cunning, if you get what I mean. Mama, at Steve's instruction, weeks before, had gotten in contact with my father through a hustler brother of Mama's in Chicago. When my father came through the hotel room door, reeking of cologne and dressed to kill, all I could think was what Mama had told me about that morning when this tall, brown-skinned joker had tossed me against the wall. Man, he took a long look at me. It was like looking in a mirror. His deep down guilt cream puffed him, and he grabbed me and squeezed me to him. I was stiff and tense in the stranger's arms, but I had looked in the mirror too when he came in, so I strung my arms limply around his neck. When he hugged Mama, her face was toward me in stone, like back where there was Henry. My father strutted about the hotel room, boasting of his personal chef's job for Big Bill Thompson, the mayor of Chicago. He told Mama and me, I am a changed man now. I have saved my money, and now I really have something to offer my wife and son. Won't you come back to me and try again? I'm older now, and I bitterly regret my mistakes of the past. Like a black widow spider spinning a web around her. Pray, Mama, put up enough. Um, I'm hearing that thing on my on my phone. Okay, let me get back to where I'm at. Um, like a black widow web spinning the web spider around her prey, Mama put up enough resistance to make him pitch himself into a sweat, then agreed to go back to him. After how he treated her and her son, she agreed to go back to him. My father's house was crammed with expensive furniture and art pieces. He had thousands of dollars invested into rich clothing and linens. After a week, my hustler uncle brought Steve to visit us and to case the layout. My father bought the cousin angle and broke out his best cigars and cognac for the thieves. It was another week before they took him off. Remember, at the time, I had no idea as to what really was going to happen. I would learn the shocking truth only after we got to Milwaukee. On that early evening, when it happened, Mama was jittery as we prepared to visit some close white friends of my father. I had a wonderful time getting acquainted with the host children who were around my age. Too soon, it was time to go home. In my lifetime, I have seen many degrees of shock and surprise on the human face. I have never seen on any face the traumatic disbelief and shock that was on my father's face when he unlocked the door and stepped into his completely empty house. His lips flapped mutely. He couldn't speak. Everything was gone. All the furniture and drapery, everything from the percolator to the pictures on the wall, even my mama's belongings. Mama stood there in the empty house, clinging to him, comforting him, sobbing with real tears flowing down her cheeks. I guess she was crying in joy because the cross had come off so beautifully. Mama missed her calling. She should have been a film actress with only a big part. An Oscar a season would have been a lead pipe cinched for her. Mama told my father we would go to Indianapolis to friends until he could put another nest together. When we got to Milwaukee by train 90 miles away, Steve had rented a house. Every square inch of that house was filled with my father's things. Those lovely things did us little good and brought no happiness. Steve was his mania for crafts. Within weeks, he had sold everything piece by piece and lost it all across the crafts table. Mama worked long hours as a cook, and Steve and I were alone quite often. At these times, he would say, "You little motherfucker, I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. I am telling you, if you don't run away, I'm going to kill you." He was just so cruel to me. My mother had bought me a little baby cat. I loved that kitten, and this man hated animals. One day, the cat, being a baby cat, did his business on the kitchen floor. Steve said, "Where's that little motherfucker?" The little kitten had hidden under the sofa. He grabbed that kitten and took it downstairs uh, where there was a concrete wall. He grabbed it by the heels. I was standing. We lived on the second floor looking down at him. He took the kitten and beat its brains out against the wall. I remember there was a park behind our house, concrete converted. There was some concrete steps. I sat there and I cried until I puked. All the while I kept saying, like a litany, "I hate mama. I hate mama. I hate mama. And I hate Steve. I hate Steve. I hate Steve. I hate him." For many tortured years, she would suffer her guilt. She had made that terrible decision on that long ago weekend. I know my lousy old man deserved what happened to his kids. I know mama got her revenge, and it was sweet, I am sure. But it was bitter for a kid like me to know that mama was part of it. Perhaps if mama had kept that burglary cross a secret from me, in some tiny way, I might have been stronger to fight off the pimping disease. I don't know, but somehow after that cross, mama just didn't seem like the same honest, sweet mama that I had prayed in church with Batten in Rockford. I went to her grave the other day and told her for the 100th time since her death, "Mama, it wasn't really your fault. You were a dumb country girl. You didn't understand. I was your first and only child. You couldn't have known how important Henry was to me." I choked up, stopping talking to her beneath the silent sigh, and thought about Henry lying rotten, forgotten in his grave. Then, through my tight throat, I said to Mama, "To you, he was ugly, but Mama, I swear to heaven, he was so beautiful to me. I loved him, Mama. I needed him. I wish you could have seen beyond his ugly black face and loved him a little and stayed with him. Mama, we could have been happy. Our lives would have been different. But I don't blame you. Mama, I love you." I paused, looking up at the sky. Hope she was up there and could hear me. Then I went on. "I just wish you were alive now. You would be so proud of me. I am not a lawyer, as you always wanted me to be. But Mama, you have two beautiful grandchildren and another on the way, and a fine daughter-in-law. When you were her first-hand visitors, an old man and a bright-eyed girl about 10. I stopped my bragging until DePaul walked away. Then I said, "Mama, I haven't shot any H in 10 years. I haven't had a whore in 5 years. I have squared up. I've worked every day. How about it, Mama? Iceberg Slim, a square? You wouldn't believe it, Mama. I wear $50 suits right off the rack, and my car is 10 years old. You gotta believe it now, Mama. Goodbye, Mama. See you at Christmas. And remember, I'll always love you. When I walked away from her grave, I thought, I don't know, maybe that prison head shrinker was right when he told me I had become a pimp because of my unconscious hatred for my mother. I know one thing, one damn thing. I can't help crying at her grave almost as if I was crying because I did so much to put her there. Maybe the hidden hate that I can't feel wants me to laugh as she's down there in the earth. Maybe me crying is really laughing. About 90 days after Steve smashed my kitten, Mama cast off her spell in one gray April dawn while Steve lay in the drunken open mouth stupor. Mama and I packed what we could carry and moved into a hotel room. It was complete with the hot plate and down the hall toilet. Steve had stumped on 3.5 years of our lives. I soon be 14. On August 4th, my birthday, our old friend Steve, with diabolical timing, made that event unforgettable. Since that chilly dawn in April, he had searched the slum streets for his escape, Duke's thirst for revenge. I waited eagerly in the hotel room for Mama, who had promised to bake a cake in her white woman's kitchen. She said she would be home early at 6 o'clock to celebrate my birthday. Well, she came home all right on the 7th of August from a hospital with her broken jaw wired and her body covered with bruises. Steve had stalked her and attacked her with his fists and feet, and then escaped through the grim catacombs of the ghetto. See, you see what she put her kid through? Honey, this is deep. This is deep. She had a great life. This is what we talk about when we talk about people who have great lives. You can have a great, wonderful, wonderful life. Everything there is to offer. This man found her and her son and took them and gave them the best of life, everything, and she'd rather go off with a bomb. She'd rather go take her son out of a stable home where they were living good to go off with a bomb. Then the baby daddy wanted her back. He doing good. He doing very well. And she takes everything from him that she owns for a bomb. For a bomb, y'all. Can you believe this? For a bomb. And this happens every day. Every single day we see this. Every day. I'm still here making me another cup. Come on now. You still here. Look, I'm still here too, y'all. I'm still here. We got, it's 10:38. We doing good. I hope y'all are enjoying story time. It is, honey, this is a good book, and it's even better when you're reading it out loud. All that night and all that day, I crouched in the dark shadows beneath his stairwell, gripping a gleaming ice pick. He never came back. He had moved. 20 years later, while idly looking from the window of a plush hotel suite, I would see something familiar in the white-haired stooped figure of a garbage collector on the street 3 stories down. I blacked out. When reason returned, I was down there on the street in the bright morning sunlight, clutching a pistol, wearing only a pair of red silk pajamas. As the garbage truck turned the corner, a block away, out of range, a small crowd of passersby stood bug-eyed, watching the strange scene as Rachel, my main whore, tugged at my arm, pleaded with me to get off the street. That was the last time I saw Steve, but I just don't know, even now, what I would do if our paths crossed. Perhaps that beating Mama took was good, as painful as it was. I remember how it worried me in that cruddy hotel room when the hotel's neon sign outside our window would flash on her face. Her eyes would be bright, riveted on the ceiling. She would be in a trance, remembering still hot for him. As worthless as that bastard was, otherwise, he sure must have been a son of a bitch indeed. Look, even the kid knew. Said he, for her to go take all of that? Come on now. After all he had done to us, she still had a terrible itch for the bastard. That beating was good for her. It cured the itch. Mama had learned a better lesson the hard way. The country girl had rolled in the hay with the city slicker, and now I saw all of her sorrow and guilt in her eyes. We couldn't go back to the peaceful green hills of Rockford. She had destroyed a good man back there, a native son. Henry died a year after we left him. Until the grave claimed her, Henry would rise from his own to hunt her in the lonely gloom. Mama was desperate to save at least fragments of her image, to hold fast the love and respect I had for her in Rockford. I had seen too much, had suffered too much. The jungle had stared the embalm me with bitterness and hardness. I was losing, page by page, the fine rules of thought and deed that I had learned in church from Henry to the Boy Scout troop in Rockford. I was sopping up the poison of the street like a sponge. I had begun to play Steve's favorite game, craps, in all the alleys after. Dangerously, I was frantic to sock it into every young girl weak enough to go for it. I had to run for my life. One evening, when an enraged father caught me on his back porch punching animal like astraddle his daughter's head, I had become impatient with the unusual thickness of her maiden head. Honey, he turned out just like, so now this is chapter 2. I'm gonna read chapter 2, and then we'll do 3 and 4 tomorrow. We'll do 3 and 4 tomorrow. So we could talk about chapter 1 a little bit if you guys want to talk about chapter 1. So basically, the guy that I need to put my little sticker on it. So chapter 3 is Salty Trip with Pepper. Chapter 2 is First Steps into the Jungle. So let's talk about let's discuss chapter 1 for a minute. Let me put this. Another sheet. The very thing that he hated, the very person that he hated, and everything that he, that he went through and was going through, he became that person. He wound up becoming the very person that he wound up hating. And even after how he saw this person treat, even after how he saw this person treat his mother, treat her like crap, use her and abuse her. And it bothered him. It bothered him most how he did his stepfather. And even with all of that being said, he still turned out the same way. He started treating women like that. He was being disrespectful to them. Like he didn't give a damn about nothing. Anybody, no nothing. And this is where it goes to when we talk about grown-ups and how your children and stuff is watching you. You see how a son lost all respect for his mother, a son that was smart enough to know his mom had a good man that was good to them, and she treated him like crap for a no good ass nigga, which happens every day, all day, every day, all day, every day, all day. And she didn't care because she never loved them. She used them. But let me tell you something. Even though you go through all of that and you do all of that, she could have still, respected them. If you don't do anything else, why not have respect for the person that took care of you, you know, that looked out for you, that helped you, you know, get back on your feet and all of that stuff. She had no respect for that man, and he did everything. You heard the kid, he said, we ate good, we lived good, you know, everything, all of that. And she didn't care. She did not care at all. And that's, you know, that's sad. That's sad when you get somebody that don't care. So, what do you guys think about about that part so far? We got some. Oh, we got three people that's still hanging on over here. Other folks are still going in and out, in and out. But that's okay. I think it's a good story. I think that's iceberg. I'm really into Iceberg Slim. I don't know about y'all, but I really got into it. I need to check on Kindle for that book. Oh, okay. Look, go and get it. I'm telling you, that book, it's a great book. It is a great book. It is a great story. You know, it's a great story. And I'm telling you, it makes you think. I love books and I love things that will make you think, you know, that will make you think, that will make you like, damn, you be thinking you by yourself. You be thinking that you're going through stuff. Because let me tell you something, to live that life, the life that Iceberg Slim was living from the time he was a child on, you don't have to be a pimp to live that life. Kids going through that every day, and they mothers aren't prostitutes. Kids are going through this stuff every day, and their moms didn't shack up with the pimp. You know, kids are going through that kind of stuff that they mom just, you know, like rather be with a no good ass guy than to be with the good guy that is actually taking care of the family, supporting the family, looking out for the family. She'd rather be with the bum over here. That goes on every day. You wonder, and then you wonder why little girls out there, you know, being little hoes and little tricks because they see what their mother doing. They see how their fathers treat them. You wondering why little boys is always calling a girl a bitch. You know, always saying you ain't nothing but a hoe. You a slut. There is kids in grammar school that are calling little boys calling little girls hoes and bitches and sluts and stuff. You know why? Because that's what they see and that's what they get at home. He went through so much as a kid and he still knew the difference between wrong and right. He had more sense than his mother to even know that, mom, you should have stayed with this person over here. Okay, mom, you didn't stay with this person. Our dad came back to get us. Mom, you should have stayed with that. But she said, tell dad that dude is the cousin. And he therefore, and dad was cool with them and she did all that. So, look, let me tell you something. I told y'all, when a woman is scorned, honey, when a woman is scorned, I'm talking to you men. When you have scorned a woman, she may not get you today. She may not get you tomorrow. She may not get you next week or next month, but she gonna get that ass, and it's gonna always be in the back of her mind until she see you suffer. Until she see you suffer, she gonna, and that's what it was all about. She went back to the father, all because and pretended she forgave him and everything was good because she wanted to see him suffer. And that's just how, that's why we can't get along and you can't move ahead. You can't do none of that stuff because that's just how they are, you know. A woman wants to do any and everything to make sure you hurt as bad as she hurt. How much was it on Amazon? I think on Amazon when I bought it, I spent less than $20. I think it might have been, maybe it might have been between with did I get it? I'm trying to think. Did I get free delivery? I don't know if I got it through Prime or not, but I think it was around $22. Some is saying $22. It wasn't more than $25. I don't think it wasn't more than $25. I bought this book a minute ago. I bought it a while ago, And I kept saying, I'm going to read it, I'm going to read it, I'm going to read it, I'm going to get started. Then I decided I wanted to make it part of our book club thing. And I just think it's a really good book. I can't wait to get into chapter 2. Honey, I cannot wait to get into chapter 2. So, you guys, you want to take a break, you want to go get your snacks and everything. And get your snacks and come on back. Get your snacks and come on back. I'm going to restart this for chapter 2. And so we can get a new group of people and everybody can come on. I'm gonna end this and then give y'all like 5 or 10 minutes. Let's see, what time is this? 10:50. 10:50. Come on back at I give y'all 10 minutes. Come on back at 11 o'clock, and then we will do chapter 2. We'll do chapter 2. Okay, guys. Look, this is hot, honey. Pimp by Iceberg Slam, honey. I didn't think it was gonna be this much fun, and it's gonna be this much fun. I'm getting tipsy, but I'm enjoying it. It's so much peaceful over here. Look, I ain't get no trolls, no nothing, the other people from the other sectors, they stuff ain't popping in over here. I think I'm loving Extraordinary Goodies, honey. I think I'm loving Extraordinary Goodies platform. So go back, bring a friend, tell somebody, and come on back. Ta-ta for now. Go ahead. I'll be ready. 12. Okay, it's 12 for you, Kiki. All right, so y'all can go get a drink, go get a snack, go to the bathroom. I got to go release some water and all of that. We going to do that, and then we going to come back. All right? Okie dokie. See you guys in a few.